When William Perry Barber died at home in 1984, his obituary referred to him as a reserved, soft-spoken man. It was a very accurate description, and one could also add he preferred to live a very private life. This made gathering personal information about this prominent Putnam individual extremely challenging. He was the son of William R. Barber, who was elected Putnam's third mayor. The early family residence was 245 School Street, and this continued to be his home until just prior to his passing. His siblings were his sister Sarah and brothers Russell and John. Early education was in Putnam Public Schools, including Putnam High School, where he was a graduate in 1925. While at PHS, he served as a class historian, which was a prelude to his eventual chosen field in politics. Barber opted to spend an additional year at Putnam High to pursue a postgraduate course while working for the town newspaper, the Putnam Patriot, before enrolling at Clark University in Worcester. The newspaper connection served him well in his future political aspirations. He continued to receive editorial endorsements from the Patriot throughout his political career and provided him the opportunity to serve on the newspaper staff while a student at Clark. In addition, Perry Barber was a recipient of a Tau Kappa Key, signifying membership in the National Honor Debating Society. Following the attainment of a Bachelor of Arts from Clark, it was on to law school at the University of Virginia, where he succeeded in reversing a mock Supreme Court decision and won the distinction of having his name inscribed on the wall of the UVA courtroom. As he returned to Putnam with his law degree, he successfully passed the required exam and was admitted to the Connecticut Bar Association in 1933 as one of the youngest magistrates. Shortly thereafter, he purchased the Plexus Insurance Company in the Cedar Block on Main Street, Putnam, to establish a law office and launch his lifetime profession. The ambition to follow in the political footsteps of his father began in 1934. Perry Barber was successfully elected to the Putnam Board of Education that year and twice served as its chairman. However, he did diverge somewhat from his father's political ideologies, as the younger Barber was a registered Democrat, while Dad had been a Republican. Additional community involvement at this time included being named judge of Putnam City Clerk by then-Governor Wilbur Cross, serving as president of the Putnam High School Alumni Council, the governing board of the Alumni Association, and as chairman of the Democratic Town Committee. He was becoming a rising star on the Putnam local scene and was encouraged to seek the position of mayor as a relatively young 33-year-old. In 1941, Perry Barber defeated Republican William McCoy, and the political ball was picking up momentum. An endorsement from the Putnam Patriot only enhanced his chances, as it stated, "Judge Barber always seems to have the just so look about him. Clothes fit perfectly, and appropriate neckwear is never a problem, with a crease in his trousers that is razor-edged." Among his notable achievements in his first term as mayor, he oversaw the replacement of a large sewer main across the Quinebaug River, which reduced by 1/3 the Putnam sewage not being discharged directly into the river. As World War II seemed imminent, much of Putnam's political agenda involved war-related preparation. Barber established the formation of a guard unit, oversaw the establishment of alarm horns with an air raid signal, created a blackout ordinance, and proclaimed May 23rd as Buddy Poppy Day to support the armed forces. Although defeated in his re-election for mayor in 1943 by Harvey Grinzel, he successfully recaptured that position in 1948. A noteworthy accomplishment in his second term was a proposal for a recreation commission leading to the erection of a building at Recreation Park to include dressing rooms and showers for the recently improved Turd Lot swimming hole at the dammed-up Little River. In 1943, he expanded political aspirations by seeking and winning the position of state senator of the 28th District. Although defeated by Jean Basha in 1946, he successfully regained the position in 1948 and served a term as President pro tem in 1951. In 1949, Mayor Barber stunned the Putnam Town Council by submitting a near-immediate resignation. His letter indicated that while it is alien to my character to relinquish any office to which I have been elected or appointed, multiplicity of the jobs has become a burden, and I can't give my law office the attention it deserves. While the act wasn't a signal of complete retirement, it proved to be a transition to a more tranquil but just as busy local existence. He maintained membership on the Chamber of Commerce, the Order of Odd Fellows, the Rotary Club, where he served as president, trustee at Mansfield Training School, and served on the board of Amherst College. And there was more of a leaning toward his judicial practice as he phased out of the political scene. Barber was appointed to the state Supreme Court in 1961 by then-Governor John Dempsey, then served as Associate Justice of the Connecticut Supreme Court for 14 years and was its Chief Judge in 1975. Family associations, which had been limited, also began to become a more important aspect of his life. He purchased a cottage at Alexander's Lake for his aunt and nieces, and while he never spent one overnight there, he would come for dinner and a glass of wine, spend time with the family, and then retreat back to his well-tended garden. He composed a poem to these nieces in 1977 before his passing. It concluded with these lines: "How best to solve the problems of today, no one can really say. Yet we have the know-how to reach the moon. We ought to solve our problem fast, at least before the last atomic blast." Although written nearly 50 years ago, the same message would appear to be relevant for the current generation. At his passing, the Putnam Patriot newspaper referred to William Perry Barber as a product of his community. He brought a certain level of pride in his achievements to those he grew up with, and his advances reflected credit on this city. That pride can now be shared on Putnam High School's Wall of Honor, where it all began.